welcome to my channel. This should be my first video if I actually edit and post it, but this will be about my driver's ed experience because I have nothing else to talk about. So, I took this summer driver's ed program that my county provides. It's free and they do the driving test there, and you can also get a discount on your insurance if your insurance takes it or accepts it. But so this program is just 2 weeks, no classes on Fridays. That's basically it. And they're an hour and 30 minutes each day. And I basically just finished it today. Last week was the first day, which was Monday, and that was the longer class where they told us about road safety and okay, I don't know what noise my throat just made, but they basically told us about road safety and the things that we should already know. It's basically all common sense, don't speed and don't street race, and all that stuff, and the alcohol, and I keep saying but it's whatever. And that took oh my gosh, I need to stop saying but it was from 8 to 2, but we finished early, so we got to leave at 1, or 1:40, not 1:40, 12:40. And so that was basically Monday. Nothing new. Basically common sense. And then we also went into groups and basically figured out our time slots and figured out when we were driving and who we were driving with. And I was with this other kid that goes to the same high school as me, but I don't have any classes with him, and I don't think he knew me, but I've seen him lurking around in the hallways and lunch in the cafeteria, so he probably doesn't know me because I'm a nobody, but it's whatever. And so that was basically it for Monday. And so Tuesday we went over the driving test and basically seeing what our skill level was at the moment. And they weren't teaching us how to drive. We were supposed to already know how to drive decently, because this class was just to get us ready for the driver's test. And so obviously they aren't going to teach you. But I guess if okay, my friend didn't know it was just an advanced driver's ed, and so she thought they would be teaching her, but they weren't teaching it. But she went up to her instructor, and she was just telling him about that, and I was like, no, don't worry, we'll teach you. So I guess they will teach you. And okay, back to the driving. Well, we're already on driving, but oh wait, that same friend, she was thinking about not going because she was I'm supposed to be able to drive and do stuff. I don't know, I'm in this class. But her instructor was no, just come the first day, and if it's too much for you, then you can stop going. And so Tuesday comes, she doesn't show up. And she was supposed to be my ride home that day. So I was stressing out a bit. And then right when the class is gonna start, she texted me, oh my gosh, I slept in. No one woke me up. But I feel like if you have something to wake up for in the morning, you should set an alarm. But it's whatever. And so I was like kind of stressing about that. And because my mom, like, she was under the impression that I would have a ride already, so she went to work. But then my friend didn't show up, so I texted my other friend. I was like, yo, like, she didn't show up, like, and I don't have a ride home anymore. And so my friend was like, my mom can just pick you up. I was like, okay, thank you. But back to like the driving test. We just like did the quick stop. I don't really know what it's called, but like, you know, like going up to 20 miles per hour and then stopping like right away. That's basically what we had to do first. And then we did parking. I'm not that good at parking. Like, I can park, but it's not like the best, you know? And then we did a K turn or a 3-point turn, Y turn, whatever you want to call it. And then we did parking on a hill, or parking uphill, downhill, whatever, with a curb, without a curb. And since we live in Florida, we had to pretend that there was a like a hill, because there's no hills where I live. And so basically the instructor was like, okay, park with a downhill or an uphill with a curb, you know, that stuff. And I think that was basically it for the driving test. I had to go first because, like, I sat in the front seat, and the other kid, he was like, you can sit in the front. I was like, oh, okay. So I was a little nervous. Actually, I was like kind of really nervous, and I was like stressed about if I was going to get a ride or not. So yeah, but like I did end up getting a ride from my other friend, so everything was good. And then Wednesday comes. That day was actually so bad. Like, it was horrible. So the other kid went first for that day. We just like drove around and like, I guess, seeing how well we do on the road. And so he does good, obviously. Like, he's a good driver. He's a little better than me. Maybe a lot better, but I don't know. And then my turn. It's my turn to drive. And the instructor's like, are you comfortable with driving on the road? And I was like, yeah, I am. Because I've driven multiple times on the road. Like, I can drive, guys. I swear I can drive. I know how to drive. But I guess I was still getting used to that car and like figuring out how it moves and stuff. So that day I did like horrible, and somehow I like got my left and right mixed up like one time. Like, I never do that. Like, I've always had my rights and lefts, like, you know? But for some reason, it was just that one time where I got my left and right mixed up, which was not good. But I just did really bad that day. Like, really bad. And then at the end of that session, my instructor, he goes to that other kid and he's just like, you did a good job today, good job. You did a good job today, good job. No, he just said good job, you did good. Or like, you did well. Oh, I just breathed into the mic. And then to me, he goes, you're not that bad, you just need experience. You just need to practice more. Like, thank you. But I already know. Like, I already know I did bad. And, like, if you tell the other kid good job, like, obviously you think I'm already a bad driver compared to the other kid. Also, the instructor, he was, like, talking about, like, irrelevant things, and I was like, I don't know, in my own world. But that was Wednesday. Yeah, that was Wednesday. And so the next session comes Thursday. I didn't drive first. The other kid drove first. He did good. He always did good. And then it was my turn. We drove all the way to like the pier, which was like 40 minutes from where we started. And he drove all the way to the pier. And then it was my turn to start driving. I did so much better than I did on Wednesday. And I genuinely don't know what was going on Wednesday. Like, I guess I was just still trying to get used to the car or something. But I drove. I did a lot better. There's not much I can say about Thursday because, like, I did so much better than I did on Wednesday. And so my instructor, he was like, good job. What was happening yesterday? And I was like, I don't know. I really don't know. And he was just like telling me that I did way much better. Way better than Wednesday. And he said, good job to the other kid too. And so that was the first week. Basically nothing. I was a really bad driver on Wednesday. It's whatever. And so Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, I didn't practice driving at all, which was probably like a really big mistake for me, because it was a huge mistake for me. And I also got like no sleep for Monday, like maybe 2 hours, which was really bad, like really bad. And so I drove first Monday. So Monday I drive. I barely get any sleep. I didn't practice driving on the weekends. Bad mistake. Horrible mistake. Because, like, not even, like, 5 minutes in, I'm taking a right turn on a red light. You can do that. But, obviously, you have to look. I looked, but I forgot to turn while driving. Like, I was looking, and then I started going, because there were no cars. And then I just forgot to turn right until it was too late. And then a car started coming, and I almost, like, T-boned the car. But we lived. We're alive. As you can see, we're alive. No accident happened. But I don't know what was going on that day. Actually, I do know. I was, like, really tired. I was running off for 2 hours of sleep, and I was the first one to drive, so I was, like, obviously nervous. And so I think that basically set off the day for me, and I was like, oh, I suck. Like, this is horrible. Like, I'm just a horrible driver, I guess. And then the kid, obviously, he does good. And so at the end of that session, my teacher, he's like, you did so much better Thursday. What happened? And I was like, I don't know. I really don't know. Anyways, I don't want to laugh into the mic because then, like, the wind, my breath, like, okay. That's basically it for that Monday. Like, I just did horrible, and I could tell that my instructor was getting stressed while I was driving, so that made me even more nervous, because, like, oh, he thinks I'm a bad driver. Like, there's nothing I can do to, you know. But it's whatever. Monday was over. And then Tuesday, we just went over the driving test, which was easy. I already went over it at the beginning, but like we just practiced like 2 times through it, and I passed both times. The kid forgot his permit somehow. Like, I don't really know how you forget to bring your permit to a driver's ed class, but he had a picture of his permit, so it's okay. He just couldn't drive outside of the school onto the roads. And then, he passed the 2 times that he had to do the driving test too. And then, that was it for Tuesday. And then Wednesday, today's Wednesday. I just finished my whole session today. We took the driving test. The kid went first. Like, he made a few I was gonna go first, but then he was like, no, because we did rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I lost, so I was gonna go first. But the instructor was like, oh, he can go first. And I was like, what? Okay. And he was like, because the instructor was like, he lost, right? And I was like, I lost. But then the kid was like, I can just go first. So I was like, okay. But he makes a few mistakes, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh no. Like, I'm rooting for him. Obviously, I'm rooting for him. But whenever he made a mistake, I was like, no. Because, like, they were simple mistakes. But he didn't make that many, but, like, simple ones. And so, he passed. He got, like, 9 points taken off. Not bad. Like, I guess, like, he's a good driver. And then, yeah, he passed. And so it's my turn. I'm a little nervous, not really, kind of am. Not. I was a little nervous, but then as I started driving, I was like, oh, this isn't too bad. Like, I can do this. We went over it yesterday. Like, this is light work. So it's my turn. I basically just fix all the, like, seat stuff and mirrors. And then, yeah, I make a few mistakes. One mistake was, like, braking during a turn, which obviously you're not supposed to do. And in, like, literally when I was doing that turn, I was like, wait, I shouldn't be braking during this turn. But, like, I still was braking because I didn't want to go too fast during the turn. It's whatever. And then, like, yeah, my parking's good, my quick stop is good, my K-turn is good, except I forgot to look, like, all directions. Okay. So, right there. I'm about to turn that way. So I look all directions and then I turn. And then I am gonna go this way. But I forgot to look to my right. I looked back. I looked left. But I forgot to look at my right. Which got me 4 points taken off. 4. But other than that, I didn't make any other mistakes. I got only 5 points taken off. And that's pretty much it. Like, I did a lot better than I thought I would. Like, I thought I would make more mistakes because I thought I would be more nervous than I was anticipating to be more nervous, but I wasn't. And so I passed. We both passed. And that's basically it. I can get my license. And oh my gosh, I forgot to mention this, but my instructor, he thinks that I got my permit this January, like January of this year. And so I didn't correct him, but I didn't correct him because, like, I did bad both times for 2 days. Like, if it seems like I'm a new driver, like, it gives me an excuse to be bad. but I got my permit last year of January. So I've already had it for a whole year. But I'm not gonna correct him because I don't want to seem like a child that didn't know how to drive. But like, I passed anyways. That's it. I can get my license. I'm getting it Friday, and hopefully I'll be able to update if I do get it on Friday. We'll see. And that's it.